Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check. All right, so I just did a little test recording offline and I listened back and my voice sounded okay. So please let me know if the audio is still bad and I'll just have to figure something else out later. But hopefully you can hear everything just fine. Hopefully. Let me go to my channel here. And go to here. So once again, I have my custom with a K back and my voice sounded okay. So, it's sounding better now. I'm going to turn down the volume. So please come on in. Let me know who you are, where you're from, and we'll hopefully get this thing going. I'm not sure what happened, but maybe just restarting a few things helped out. So let me go back through the connection diagram here, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, so they've in 2.0, Neural DSP changed a few routing options for the capture. Sorry about that. If I get a little belchy, it's because I'm drinking. I got the beer out, Mama. It's root beer. Okay, it's root beer. I like beer by the root. All right, so I have my guitar plugged into input 1, and I need to show my head and cab view there. All right, so guitar in the input 1, not too bad. I am going to monitor through the headphones, and then, but you also have the option to monitor out 1 and 2 or out 3 and 4. And we're going to take a cable, a 1/4-inch cable, like a regular guitar cable, out of capture out. That's going to go to the input of your target device. Now, I'm actually just using that root beer, man. Like, geez. I'm using a amplifier, but you can model pretty much anything else that you can get a cable into. You can model plugins. You can model another modeler if you want. All kinds of stuff. So, I can model this little Quilter Interblock 45, and it would probably sound pretty good. I do like the clean tones on this thing, and when you drive it, it just has a nice bluesy sound to it. So that might be something I do in the future. So capture out, and then from input 2, this is where it changed. Because before you had to plug your guitar into the return and then use input 1 as your microphone input. But now they've changed that. So guitar is the input 1, headphone out for my monitoring. The capture out's going to the input device. And then input 2 is receiving the microphone cable. So that is a Shure SM7B. And please somebody comment and let me know how it sounds. Please. Because before you had to plug your guitar into the... Okay, it's sounding fine on my end. So hopefully it sounds fine on your end. Okay. All right, so here we go. Arrow over. And once everything is connected correctly, you can proceed with the creating your neural capture. So come over. Now at this point, you want to make sure you set your levels. And there's little lines on the grid here. You can't really see them, but there's little lines there. So I'm going to try and hit that line as close as I can. There's also an auto set feature. And I did a capture a few weeks ago, and I actually forgot to check the type of input I was using. So you either need to choose instrument for input 1, then you need to choose mic for input 2, so that you get both signals showing up correctly. If I set to auto set and I just play, See, it kind of keeps jerking around a little bit, which I don't really like. So I feel like that's okay. I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. I do want to try and get to that line as close as I can. Now, I'm not quite sure how loud this is going to be, but it might get loud. So you might want to turn your volume down just a little bit, okay? And we're going to start capture. Here we go. For those who don't know the capture process, this is the sound it makes. It'll be done here in a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Start capture. Here we go. Now, I'm not hearing any of this through my headphones. It's all coming out of the speaker of the guitar. Pop-Tart. Now the sound is done. So now it's going to train. It says it's training a neural network to emulate the sound of your favorite device. It's emulating it. So it's not a one-for-one sound, but it is really, really close. I mean, I can't tell a difference half the time. I'm going to finish chewing here. Now, notice I can't play during this time either. Now, last week, I royally messed up. And I underestimated the amount of time it would actually take to first download the new update and then install it. And it actually took over an hour, which is kind of embarrassing. And then I proceeded to stay live for another 3 hours because I was just up playing and having fun. And, just when I would start to wrap things up, more people would come on and start talking and chatting or whatever else. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I would say, I would go share this in a Facebook group. But if you want to go share it in a Facebook group or share it to your friends, and you can get some more viewers in here. We got 2 people watching so far. Please comment and let me know how the audio sounds. I think it sounds fine. I just checked it myself. Things up. More people would come on. See, there I am. So, and it sounds fine. It doesn't sound glitchy like it was apparently before. So we're at 69%, almost 70. So it takes, a good, I didn't exactly time it, but it probably takes about 5 minutes or so for this capture process to actually be done. And but we're moving right along here, way faster than installing that update last week. I really just had no idea it was going to be that slow. I was thinking like, I'll go live. It'll take about 10, 15 minutes to install the update, download it, install it, and I'd be up and running, and, we could be in and out of here in an hour, but that's just not how it worked. So Quad Cortex capture process. 3 people watching. Okay, Andrew Collins is working great now. And I do appreciate you, Andrew, for coming back on and saying hi and all that stuff. So, all right, yeah, I have no idea what happened. I just don't know what happened before. But as we're waiting, please I'm trying to sell some stuff on Marketplace. And I'm getting rid of the helix, which I know Andrew is probably not happy about. And I'm selling some other stuff, and people just always want to lowball me for some reason. But let me know your experience with selling things online, because we may talk about that, in a future update. I've been thinking about. I've really been thinking about the difference between like Reverb.com and should I be selling more on. This should be line level. All right, not sure what's going on. Let me get my headphone out of the way. Now that's the Quad Cortex. And this should be the reference. But for some reason, there we go. She just wasn't loud enough. Okay. So that should be playing loud enough so you guys can hear the difference here. So now keep in mind, this is a practice amp from like 25 years ago. And so there's the reference. I mean, this sounds pretty good. It could be like one of those PV Bandit kind of deals to where, yes, they're solid state, but they still sound pretty good. So here's the Cortex now. I think it sounds really good. Now the reference sounds a little chimier to me. Maybe just because I'm hearing it through the speaker and whatnot. And then here's back to the Cortex sound. All right. I think I'm ready to save this. So we have a new looking naming area here, which is great. So this is going to be so custom. I wish it would stay like capital. So custom CL, and our type of capture, let's see. So you can either have a head, a combo, a head and a combo, just a cab or a pedal. So this is going to be a amp and cab, and our preferred instrument is guitar. And we're going to save that. Okay. So now we're pretty much done, and I'm going to make a new rig here. Now, since it captured the amp and the cab, I only need one block. I don't need a separate block for an amp and a separate cab, which is cool. So we're going to go to My Captures, and there we are. Here's what my custom clean. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. It's got a little bit of grit to it. So I'm using the that's the bridge position of my Gil Paris. Here's the, let me say that was the neck. Here's the bridge. Okay, that shouldn't be too loud in your ears, but I'm going to bring down the Q just a smidge here. I think it sounds really good. Renan says play Sepultura, which I don't know any Sepultura stuff. So, all right. Aaron Short says my question is it any better than the included models? In other words, is it worth capturing instead of just using what's built in? Now, I'm only showing the capture process because I know a lot of guys say, hey, I have a whole studio full of amps. Or I even saw a comment earlier today of, I guess he owns a studio and he wants to capture all the amps that comes in to his studio, from bands that want to record. And I really do think the models in the Quad Cortex are just really great sounding. They're just top notch. And so do you really need to capture stuff? Because you are kind of limited. I mean, for this capture right here, we have a gain, bass, middle, treble, and volume. Now, that's typically what you would find on most amps anyway. So let's experiment a little bit by bringing the gain down and see what that sounds like. Okay, I think it sounds good. Let's go the opposite direction, and we'll turn it up a little bit. Also turning down the volume. Now going the other way didn't work as well. It just it kind of farts out because this small amp is just a practice amp and it doesn't sound, it is what it is. So but you have a little bit of wiggle room back and forth if you want to kind of boost or cut the gain a little bit. Let's go back to its default clean setting and we'll add in a dirt pedal. Add in some dirt. And we'll do the Tube Screamer. I keep forgetting about these comments here. Aaron, help me remember. I think there's a way to tell how long the comments stay on the screen or something like that. I'll have to figure that out sometime here. Stream size, recording, interview, audio. I just don't know. I think there is some kind of something. I think there's a way to tell how long they stay on the stream. General. Automatically hide comment overlays after 15 seconds. There it is. I found it. But 15 seconds is a pretty long time. We'll try 10 seconds. See how that works. All right, so this is a clean sound, right? And we will turn it off. So here's the amp. Now, I also have some reverb going to an aux end in the Apollo. No, I turned it off. So there's totally dry. And now let's go ahead and add some reverb. We'll do a plate. Yes, sir. We'll add some delay. And we'll do a digital stereo. That's a beautiful sound. From a practice amp. That sounds amazing. Hello. This guitar doesn't sound too bad either. Cool. So this will be available in the cloud. Custom clean. There we go. All right, now for fun, we're going to capture a lead sound. Okay, I have everything set up already. And now. I really do think this is kind of like a PV Bandit kind of deal, to where like it's solid state, but it still sounds good, you know? Now these knobs are very crackly, which is a great reason why you might want to capture the sound of your amp, so that way you don't have to mess with the crackly knobs, but you can just use it within the context of a Quad Cortex or a Kemper or whatever else. You hear that? The guitar is going in and out. That sounds like rock and roll right there. All right, here comes some loud noise. What? comes the robots. The robots. Weird. Yeah, you could probably take that last bit, that's kind of like a sequencer kind of sound, and maybe makes a cool song out of it. Who knows? Someone's going to do that eventually. I'm going to do that. I'm going to record that somehow and turn it into a song. Might be fun. So once again, it's going to take a few minutes here. So let's talk about setup stuff. Who's got questions? 4 people watching. I know you got questions, folks. Y'all chat it up. Nightfall says, "What's up, Doc?" I met this guy on Fiverr.com and tried to do some production work for him, and he turned me down. So I was just not good enough, I guess. No, he found another guy that I think that's he's already worked with before, and the songs sound really cool. They're like this triumphant kind of '80s metal, hard rock kind of sound. Think like knights and witches and dragons and dungeons, maybe Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. It's just that kind of like epic, you know, metal rock kind of stuff. You just want to like raise your fist in the air in triumph and be like, "Yeah, I just ate a donut," or something. I know this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be a cool experiment because I'm gonna have a clean capture, then a dirty capture or an overdrive distortion, whatever you want to call it. And I'm gonna put the 2 captures in the same rig and then use scenes to like switch between the 2. Maybe have like a clean and then like a lead kind of sound within the same preset. So I think a lot of guys that I've seen in the comments on YouTube and on the Facebook page, not really the forum. I haven't really gotten to the forum just yet. But I do have an announcement to make a little bit later. So, which reminds me right now, let's go to my website and actually, I'm going to go to podia.com, which is the service I use to host my website and create all my courses. What's going on here? To broadcast system audio, please update the latest Ecamm Live system audio plugin. Oh no. I'll do that later. But if I go to products, so it's time for our sponsor, folks. If I go to products, I now have a doctor's prescribed backing tracks. And what this is, let me show you what this is. If I view as a visitor. It's going. Okay, and there's my capture that's done. So doctors prescribe backing tracks. I'm releasing one backing track every Friday. So January is already filled up. And I have one on deck for this Friday, Super Funk Groove in G minor, 120 beats per minute. And what I want this to be is not really, there's tons of backing tracks on YouTube, but really if you're a student of mine or you'd like to take, some kind of lessons from me, this is a way to get some content to where maybe you're just starting off. Let me turn this down. Maybe you're just starting off on the acoustic guitar, and you need to, you got 10 minutes to practice, right? What are you going to practice? Well, you're going to buy my $20 backing tracks course on my website, and you're going to go week by week, and you're going to learn the chords for that chord progression of the backing track, and you're just going to wear them out. Whether that's E minor, right? It could be like E minor, Then maybe you want to go to a G. Maybe you want to go to a D. Then you want to go to a C. But you're like, man, I just can't play those chords very well yet. Well, playing with a backing track is going to force you to play in time and also, just hit the chords right on the downbeat, making sure all your fingers are falling at the same time. So it's a great practice tool. And then once you start progressing into learning melodies and learning scales and maybe your pentatonic scales and stuff, you can go back and use these backing tracks to practice, your E minor, all kinds of E minor licks or whatever key you're in that particular backing track. So it's a practice tool for you that is very focused. And as I get time, I can put some little documents in the description of each one, maybe with some pictures, so you can see what each chord shape is, and you can just kind of progress at your own pace. But I'm going to do a full year of backing tracks for $20, and then in 2024, I'm going to start over again. You're going to have to pay another $20, but it's $20 well spent for the whole entire year. And you get 52-ish, whatever that comes out to be, 52 backing tracks for the year. That's a great practice tool. You can, if you and a sibling or you and a parent are trying to learn an instrument, this is a great way to kind of, jam together over the same backing track. And so it's going to be a valuable tool for really anybody on any level of playing. You don't have to play guitar to play over these. You can play a saxophone or a flute or a clarinet or a trombone, or you can practice your drum grooves or whatever you want these to be. There's just a great tool for you to do. So that's my little commercial there for Doctor's Prescribed Backing Tracks 2023. New tracks released every Friday. So go get that for $20. It's a great way to donate to the channel versus doing a super chat, which I don't mind super chats. I mean, that's perfectly fine if you want to do that. But $20 well spent on some great backing tracks. I'm going to cook up fresh for you every week for the rest of the year. So here we go. Turn up my guitar. And let's turn up the quad here. So this is the reference. Here's the reference first. And this is the Quad Cortex. Yay. Practice amp does great pig squeals. All right, so now we're going to call this custom CR for crunch. Okay, this is a amp and a cab, and our preferred instrument is guitar. And now we're back here. So this is our clean sound again. Was my volume down the whole time? Weird. I'm sorry. Okay. We're going to bypass this. We're going to hold on the on-off button. So that allows us to use it in a scene. We're making a scene, folks. Uh-oh. Better watch out. So here's my custom crunch. And anything high gain, I prefer to have a gate on. So we're going to hold the input section, and that turns on the gate for us so we don't get all that crazy hiss in the background. 4 people watching and nobody talking. So y'all ask me some questions here. My gosh, this is sick. overdrive. We'll make sure that is held down so we can turn that on and off. And I'm going to use the knobs here. I really wish this camera would just stay put. It's not the greatest here. It's not the greatest. Get this all in view. Kinda. Can't really do it. All right, that's close enough. Let me check the stream here. Okay, sounded pretty good. All right, I think my guitar is a little loud. So once it starts getting too loud, then the YouTube is going to compress it a little bit. So I can check my compressor here. Make sure it's not getting... And it is. And it is. Let me turn down the Quad Cortex a little bit. See, if I get it too hot, then it's going to go into the compressor too hot. This is going to just sound compressed, and that's not good. Okay, let me turn the fader back up now. And let me check the stream one more time. Cortex a little bit. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Alrighty, let's go ahead and make a scene. Let's cause a scene here. Making a scene. So I should have, we should be in hybrid mode right now. So there's preset mode, and here's hybrid mode. So what this is that right now I'm on A. If I hit the B switch, now it's on B. You can see both amps turned on. So let's go back to A. Let's turn off this one. And we're going to turn off the crunch channel. And then we'll turn on the lead channel, or the clean channel. I could live with that for a very long time. That just sounds really good. All right, so let's save it real fast. We'll go to the B scene, and now we'll turn off the clean amp, turn on the dirty amp, and we'll not have the tube screamer on just yet, because that one's actually not assigned to a switch. So we'll assign that to E. But that also means that this amp is also assigned to the same switch, and we don't even want it assigned to a switch. That wouldn't make sense, would it? All right, so we got that off. We're going to store that. Then scene C is going to have this amp off, we're going to turn this overdrive on like so. So now we basically just have 3 scenes. So we got the clean, we got the crunch, and then the crunch with an overdrive. That should be plenty, right? Okay. Here's the lead. Now we can, within this scene, we can go and turn up the volume a little bit. Then the third scene is our crunch channel with the tube screamer on. I kind of wish this had a looper always accessible like the Kemper does. Wish this might be a good time to tell you guys how many people we got. We got 3 people watching. So I have officially accepted money for the Quad Cortex. It was Venmo'd to me Sunday night. Yeah, I think Sunday. And the guy's going to come pick it up on Thursday. So this will be my last few days with the Quad Cortex, and unless I want to buy one in the future. I like the form factor. I like the touchscreen. It just works really well. But it's a very expensive toy just to sit on the desk, and I would rather not use it live because of the power supply. I don't want to just, I wouldn't want to just put it on the floor with that power supply cable just sticking out. I'd probably want to put it on some kind of pedal board, which is an extra expense. And I would want to get an expression pedal for it, possibly, which is another expense. And so, you could easily put another $300 or $400 into this thing. And yes, it'd be very small and be very compact, but that is a lot of money for something that I can technically do with my headrush stuff. So, not saying the capture process isn't cool. I mean, it is cool and it sounds really good. I just literally captured the sound of my practice amp that's 25 years old, which is just insane. Going back to the clean sound here. I mean, if you can't use that kind of sound, then you got something wrong with you. Then scene C with the tube screamer on. Okay, something like that. But there you go. I mean, it's a great sounding unit. It is really, really good. But it is rather expensive. And in this time where I do have a Kemper, which was about $1,600 used. I am on the FM9 waiting list. That I do want to get the FM9 so I can be making videos with that. And I know I can just resell it for probably more than I paid for, but I don't want to be that kind of guy. I don't want to overcharge for something that people can just wait a little bit longer for and just get it for the same price. So, yeah, I want to get the FM9. I want to get the Blue Guitar Amp X, which is supposed to be Thomas Blug's neural kind of technology. But he calls it like a digital soldering iron, whereas it's literally analog parts. I see everything with the Quad Cortex is digital, but it's made to sound, really good. I mean, it does sound really good. But Thomas Blug, he's taken his Amp 1 option and just taking it, he's 10xing it and going to the next level. And I am still live, right? Yeah. No one's commenting. No one's talking. I don't know why. Y'all come chat with me. So yeah, he's taking that neural technology to the next level, applying a digital soldering iron, if you will, to some analog components, and essentially he can recreate the sound of pretty much any amp, but in an all analog signal path. Whenever you use digital, there's always going to be a little amount of latency, whether that's 1 millisecond, 2 milliseconds, and then you incorporate an audio interface with that or some other digital A to D converter, A to D, D to A, and that just adds even more latency. I'm not saying that's bad, but it is what it is. So I want to be able to try that kind of stuff out as well, and I need money to do that, and I just can't keep putting things on credit cards and having, things just keep piling up. So I need to start selling some stuff off so I can free up some funds. And thankfully, the guy was really cool, very sweet guy, and he actually played for Andy Wood not too long ago, like last week. He played keyboards for some live gig Andy Wood did. So he's going to use the Quad Cortex. He's probably going to put it on a pedal board. And he's going to play down on Broadway here in Nashville, every night using the QC. So I'm happy for him. I think it's going to be a good fit for those guys that want something small they can carry around. But I don't play live. I only play at church once a week, and I just don't need something this expensive sitting around, not being used to its fullest potential. And honestly, I do like the Kemper form factor a lot more. Now, does the Quad Cortex and the Kemper, I mean, they do similar stuff, but a lot of people say the QC sounds a little bit better. So maybe I'll do a quick shootout tonight between the Cortex and the Kemper. I mean, that's gorgeous. Listen to that. That's from a practice amp. Here's the middle pickup. Now, this is a great sounding guitar, first of all. This is the Gil Paris signature model from Reverend. And if you're going for S-style tones, this just sounds really good. Tap tempo. So maybe next week I'll do the Kemper capture process. We can see how that works, and I can do the same thing with my K custom practice amp here. But before I sell this thing off and let the new owner have fun with it, I will take out my Kemper and I will profile some Quad Cortex amps just so I can, because I know I like the BEOD, I like the Bogner stuff, the Blue Channel 3 or the EVH 3 channels, the diesel amps. It might take me probably a good hour to do some profiles, but I think it'll be worth it to keep some of the sounds I like about the Quad Cortex, but just have it all in the Kemper. So you're like, Nathan, but the Quad Cortex sounds so much better than the Kemper. It's like, yeah, well, I like the form factor of the Kemper a lot better. Though I do have one issue with the Kemper, is when I'm going from different rigs, sometimes the sound will cut out and I have to restart the unit, and that's not good. I don't know what's going on there, but So that's about all I have for tonight. Really, I mean, that's that's the capture process of the Quad Cortex. I think it sounds really good. I am going to update the audio system here. See, it says in broadcast install. This is I don't want to do that. I'll do it later. I was hoping to be able to. I'm going to try and play. I'm going to try and play a backing track. Let's see, Arturia groove in A minor. Let's see what that does. I'm going to stop that for a second and then check my volume. Which you can't even hear. Can't even hear it. Let's try this again. Y'all let me know if you can hear this music, okay? Go back to my stream. Yeah, it's kind of there. Don't let me know. Okay, I think the I just want to make sure my levels are staying pretty good. All right, guys. So let me know what you think about this capture process and what kind of things would you capture with the Quad Cortex? That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. All right, guys. I got a long night ahead of me here of recording some drums for a client. I'm gonna work on some more videos before with the Quad Cortex before this guy comes on Thursday and picks it up. And so you let me know what kind of content you would like to see in future live streams and just videos in general on my channel. Right now, I'm just kind of combing through my Fractal AX8 mini series, going over all the ins and outs of that, and gonna do some Quad Cortex stuff, some Kemper stuff, some FM9 stuff when I get my name called on the waiting list. Hopefully, Thomas Blug will have his his Amp X will start shipping June 25th. I think was the official date. So it's probably gonna be a few more months until I get my hands on one of those. But I'm very eager and excited about that unit because I love everything Thomas Blue does. He's just a great guy. He's had me on his live stream twice, talking about Amp One and HX Effects, which I have that board right over here. I can even capture or profile Amp One tones, which is really cool. So that might be a good option. Good option for the future. All right, guys. No one's chatting. No one's talking. Everyone's like, all right, you're boring me. So appreciate all you for watching. Be sure to subscribe down below and click the bell. And, if you're interested in the backing tracks, just head over to the website. I'll have links in the description for all that. And I did get a few purchases for my Sweetwater and Amazon links, affiliate links in the description. So I saw some guys purchase a few things from there. So that goes to help support the channel and helps me to fund, things like buying a Quad Cortex and being able to audition it and just do a proper review. So that's all I got for now. I'm Dr. McFarland. I'll see you in the next video. Keep rocking.